Will Dexter take over for the Dark Passenger? Plus, we've got some Julie Benz tea. Hey guys!
Hi.
I'm Kelly, red right hand Keen.
I'm Jazzy, surprise melon farmers, shamanic.
That's so funny. It makes me giggle. As
Thank
soon
you.
as I understood it, I thought it was hilarious.
I've seen like a whole compilation video of those like replacement word, whatever they used to replace swear words, and it's always so funny.
Yeah.
They're always so good. Like major donkey, just like crazy, like ridiculous.
Surprise muffin feet.
Yeah.
I'm still coughing a little bit, so I'm gonna make liberal use of my mute button. But if you catch some strays, I apologize. I forgot to mention that we're on the Antler Queens podcast. Totally forgot to mention that. So the Antler Queens, which is our Yellow Jackets podcast, is now covering Dexter because it's also on Showtime. So I figured that the two went well together. So if you downloaded this hoping for a Yellow Jackets episode, I apologize. But if you're a Dexter fan, stick around because I think you'll like it. And we're really excited about covering Dexter Resurrection. And this is kind of like covering the show is kind of like a homecoming almost for me. We will have a spoiler section at the end. We're not going to be like your spoiler source. When I say spoilers, I mean like stuff that has been in previews or news that some people might find a little spoilery, that sort of thing. So we'll put that at the end in case you're the type of person that doesn't even like to watch previews or anything. Also, I'm very sorry for how late we are with this first episode. Shit happens. There's a lot that goes into running a podcast and a YouTube channel when you're disabled and when you've got two disabled women and accommodations that need to be met in order to cover a show. It can get a little tricky sometimes. Mm-hmm. So we're sorry that we're a week behind, but we will be on time from now on. So if you're listening to this, the episode will either be up after the episode airs late Thursday night, Friday morning, or sometime during the day on Friday. It will be up on our YouTube channel right after the episode airs. So we always put it up on YouTube a little bit earlier. But they'll be up every Friday right after the episode. So you can go there or you can wait till the next day and listen to the audio. So what did you think about these first two episodes?
I thought they were really fun. I have kind of like crash course to my way through Dexter really quickly. I watched the entire series and New Blood in like 2 months, not even like a month, like a month and 6 weeks maybe. But yeah, I definitely understand like why it has such a dedicated fan base, and I love that they are feeding their fan base. There's so much content.
There's a feeling of almost a homecoming like feeling for me covering the show because my path to podcasting kind of, it started with my enjoying TV in a more obsessive way than I ever had before. And the first show that I enjoyed like that was 6 Feet Under. And the whole reason I watched Dexter was for Michael C. Hall. I was going to watch it even if I hated the show because I just loved him so much. He and Lauren Ambrose just made that show for me. And I was happy that I got completely addicted to it right away. And it was because of Dexter. It was because of Dexter New Blood. When Dexter New Blood came along, I renewed my Showtime subscription. And that's when I started seeing the previews for Yellow Jackets. And I was like, holy crap, this show looks amazing.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah. And Yellow Jackets did not disappoint. I'm like, that's it. I'm doing a podcast, damn it. Now the popular theory that people are talking about right now, I kind of feel like it's not really a theory. I feel like they've kind of really heavily hinted at it. If not, like, I mean, they pretty much telegraphed it's the direction that they're going in my opinion, which is that Dexter's going to take over for the Dark Passenger, right?
I mean, maybe he's just going to assume the pseudonym for himself, or the monkeyer for himself.
Yeah.
But I feel like that guy is very clearly super racist, and I don't think that's Dexter's MO at all. Like,
yeah,
we would want to get adopted by a lovely family in episode 2 already. Like, so I don't know. Yeah. I think maybe taking on the name, but like changing the MO makes sense to me. Or like embracing the name as his own title. Yeah. It's one of the funniest things to me is how irritated he is that someone else is using it.
I know. I loved that. And see, that's what the whole mention of the Dark Passenger, when I first saw the trailer, it made me think that he could potentially have another sibling.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone into why, and I've gone into why I had that thinking, and it's because of the book. And Dexter doesn't even really know how he came up with Dark Passenger. And in the book, it's more of like it's kind of portrayed as more of almost an entity of its own. And so I'm thinking, well, I keep thinking maybe eventually the Dexterverse will show us other people, other serial killers who are calling their like that thing the Dark Passenger as well, because it is actually this entity or whatever. But and I was thinking maybe like it's being passed down from Dexter's father, and he might have another half sibling up there. I have no idea, but
that's interesting.
But yeah, the big theory is that he's going to take over for the Dark Passenger, and a lot of that has to do with the trailer, with him like wearing the hoodie and everything. And I kind of feel like I kind of feel like they've been telegraphing that, so I agree. I think that's probably what will happen. I just read a very funny Julie Benz, not read a funny Julie Benz story, heard a funny Julie Benz story that I thought I would share. So when she was presented with the pilot of Dexter, she thought it was like the greatest thing that she had read in ages. And she was so on board, and she was like I will play anything on this show. And then she found out that Michael C. Hall was playing Dexter, and she like lost her shit because she was completely obsessed with 6 Feet Under. It was her favorite show.
Oh, I love that.
And they were on set, and she was so embarrassed because she forgot to change her phone's ringtone, which was the 6 Feet Under song.
Imagine having your ringer on. What?
Right?
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought that story was so funny, so I had to share it. Yeah, so she was freaking out like a little fangirl. I love hearing stories about that,
Yeah. Like, it's especially like on set, everyone always pretends to be like underwhelmed, and like not everyone, like you're expected to be blasé about it, and I'm one of those people who can't just be like, Adam Scott and Kenny Marino were like right there, like doing a bit, like talking about their weekend, like I mean, yeah. I can't. I've learned to do it, but in my heart, I am still geeking out, but it's frowned upon. It's frowned upon to be a fan of
Yeah.
of the industry in general on a set. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a
No,
sweet
I hear ya.
story. I bet he thought that was adorable.
He probably did. Yeah. So if you have not joined us before, we use chapter markers here. There are some people that like a detailed recap, and some people that prefer not to hear a detailed recap and just want to get to our thoughts on the episodes. So, what we will do is start every episode with, with news and chit chat or whatever. Then we will go into the recap. We will mark the chapters. So please check the chapters. If you don't plan on listening to the recap, you can check the chapter markers and just skip to the parts that you want to listen to. And, if you want to hear it all, then don't worry about it. But we open where we last left Dexter at the end of Dexter Original Sin. He's fighting for his life on a hospital table in the Seneca Nation of New York after being shot in the chest by his son, Harrison. The medical team managed to get his heart beating, and Dexter is revived. Still in a coma, Dexter goes on a Christmas Carol style mental journey. His former murder buddies act as his ghost of serial killers past. We see Trinity killer Arthur Mitchell, John Lithgow, tell Dexter his mistake was trying to have it all. Next is ADA Miguel Prado, sadly reminiscing about how close he and Dexter were before their situationship got out of hand. At the Empire Hotel, we're treated to a getting ready sequence featuring Dexter's son Harrison, which was very reminiscent of the original Dexter series opening credits, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
He's working as a bellhop in the hotel and appears to be living there in secret. He seems to be well adjusted and well liked by the staff, and has even earned his GED. In the hotel lobby, he passes some vape pens to a particularly arrogant and douchey guest named Ryan, who's entered the hotel with a young brunette woman on his arm. He praises Harrison's ability to find weed in a city where it's legal and gives him a hefty tip. Harrison moves on to help some other customers, but has a disassociative episode that takes him back to the moment when he shot his father. He snaps back to reality quickly as the guests inquire about his sudden silence. He shakes it off and continues his work, clearly still haunted by his time with Dexter. In the hotel hallway, Harrison runs into a young blonde woman who's lost and attempting to find the room where her conference is being held. She identifies herself as Shauna, and they chat about it being her first time in New York and how surprised she is by how much she's enjoying it. Harrison offers to give her some recommendations of places to check out, but she politely declines as all her free time will be taken up by the conference. She again praises New York and mentions how easy it must be to reinvent themselves there. Back in the coma, Dexter's father and personal Jiminy Cricket Harry Morgan, James Remar, tells Dexter his son needs him. Dexter disagrees, saying Harrison is nothing like him, and staying away from him is the only way to protect his son from the destruction that normally follows in his wake. Harry points out that Dexter's brother, the ice truck killer, grew up without a father. Dexter mentions he also grew up without a mother, which was Harry's fault. Harry fires back that his own son grew up motherless due to Dexter's actions. Reaching the consensus that they're both pretty terrible dads, Harry encourages Dexter to go to his son. Harrison needs him. Sitting up in his hospital bed, the spiritual journey seems to be over, just as the ghost of James Dokes throws back the hospital curtain with an eager, "Surprise, melon farmer!" Dexter tries to blow off the spirit of his former colleague, but Dokes insists he get his 2 cents in. He tells Dexter that while he does still believe he's a creepy melon farmer, he was wrong about him. Deep inside Dexter, there is a kernel of goodness. It's imperative for Harrison's survival that Dexter cling to that goodness and go to his son. As Ghost Dokes vanishes, Dexter opens his eyes and is greeted by the Seneca Nation doctor, who explains the low temperature slowed his heart rate long enough for Dexter to survive, and that no one has seen his son in weeks.
That makes total sense.
Oh, I know,
Sorry
right?
to
Back at the hotel, creepy Ryan is struggling to carry an incapacitated blonde back to his room. Ryan tells Harrison that this is his wife who had too much to drink and asks for his help getting her into the elevator. Reluctantly, he agrees, but when he reaches Ryan's room, he admits he knows Shauna is not his wife. Ryan tells Harrison to mind his own business, that the barely conscious Shauna is okay with what's happening. He hauls her into his room and Harrison begins to walk away. hearing Shauna crying out to be left alone, turns and runs back into Ryan's room and attacks him. They scuffle with Harrison, eventually kicking Ryan's ass. Ryan scoffs and tells him to take Shauna. He's always able to find other rape victims. Furious, Harrison slams Ryan's head in with the toilet lid. He immediately hops to action, cleaning the blood off his body and getting Shauna back to her room. He expertly dexterizes the corpse, cleaning the hotel room, then moving it downstairs to chop Ryan up for disposal in the hotel kitchen, his father's instructions ringing in his ears. He packs the chopped up body parts and their signature black trash bags and hurries them out to the garbage truck, which is just arriving, missing a spot of blood on the ceiling of the kitchen in his rush. And that is the halfway point. I will turn it over to you, Jazz.
All right. Dexter has made the most miraculous recovery in the history of humanity, already able to walk and stand with just a cane, despite being in a coma for 10 weeks. The nurse praises his seemingly superhuman sense of fitness. After physical therapy, Dexter is visited by the new sheriff, Teddy Reed, who informs him that Angela has left town with her daughter. She left Dexter a note saying that she handled everything and to get out of Iron Lake now. Reed explains how Angela Deus Ex Machina his way out of multiple murder charges and timidly asks Dexter if he wants to press charges on her for shooting him. Dexter declines, and Reed is deeply relieved, even hugging Dexter before taking off and praising him for taking the high road. Back in New York, the garbage men empty their truck when suddenly one of Harrison's bags splits open and Ryan's leg and a chunk of torso fall out. Detectives Wallace and Oliver arrive on the scene. Wallace demands to know where the rest of the body is, saying they can't make an ID without a head or a hand. She begins to Columbo the crime scene, eventually using her magic detective powers to locate the rest of the body. They arranging the pieces, they make a ghoulish puzzle of Ryan's body and are able to ID him. Back at the hospital, Dexter continues to complain about moving through physical therapy at a superhuman pace, already running on a treadmill one day after coming out of a 10-week coma. He heads back to his room where he is greeted by Detective Angel. Dexter hopes this is yet another dream ghost, but is all too real as he pulls him in for a hug. Angel asks Dexter why he faked his death. Dexter explains that losing Rita and Deb prompted him to take Deborah's body with him on the boat and drive it out into Hurricane Laura, not intending to survive. When he did, he then started a new life under an alias in order to get a fresh start. Angel reveals that Angela contacted him and claimed that he was the Bay Harbor butcher, but then backtracked everything when he arrived after she had shot him. When Angel brings up Maria LaGuerta's belief that Dexter was the butcher, they both agree that there's nothing really to that. Before Angel leaves, he tells Dexter that he rescinded his death certificate and he is now legally alive once more. This makes Dexter suspicious, believing that Angel suspects him of being guilty, and people who have been declared deceased cannot be prosecuted. Back in New York, Detectives Wallace and Olivia visit Ryan's hotel room, marking it as a crime scene. They notice a disturbed Harrison watching from the door. During another physical therapy session, Dexter is told about Ryan's murder. He is shocked when he is discovered the method of the body's disposal was done in the same manner he taught Harrison. Dexter investigates Ryan's background and finds that he was previously acquitted of multiple sexual assault charges. Worrying that Harrison will become a suspect in the murder, Dexter makes an escape from his room, stealing the keys of a car of a recently deceased patient and giving Batista, who has already arrived for visitation, the slip. Batista curses as he realizes Dexter is gone. A woman, Charlie Thurman, stalks a man to his house. When the man leaves, she uses her super secret Acme spy kit to inspect his room and eventually discovers multiple IDs and cash. She leaves after rearranging things and calls someone to say that the invitation was delivered. Dexter arrives in New York and he sees Harrison at the entrance of the Hotel Empire, but chooses to keep his distance for now.
All right. So we're going to do a little thing here where first, I was thinking we do the MVP and the LVP. I was thinking we always joke about how, Rita was portrayed like just so perfect. How about you get the Saint Rita Award or
Love
you
it.
go on the or you go on the kill table.
Love it.
All right.
Love it.
So who's going on the kill table and who gets the Saint Rita Award?
Obviously kill table for me is Ryan. I really enjoyed watching that guy get murdered. It was super fun for me. He not like, no offense to that actor, but he played a great douchebag. Like he really had the vibe of someone you wanted to punch in the face.
Oh yeah.
And then my Saint Rita Award is the miracle worker PT nurse that somehow has Dexter walking and standing literally days after coming out of a 10-week coma.
Right?
She's the real hero.
Yeah. I'm also putting Ryan on the kill table. By the way, the actor who played Ryan, I forget the actor's name, but I was reading about him. Massive super fan.
Oh, nice.
Like, has watched the entire series 7 times, he said, and was just freaking out. And the girl that played Shauna, they've been friends for years. So it was like she was at his wedding. So it was
so cool. How weird.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. But I'm gonna give my Saint Rita Award to Harrison.
Yeah, good call.
I don't know why I was so impressed with him, like making sure he got Shauna back to her room, because what was he gonna do with her?
Yeah.
What else was he gonna do with her?
He did that first. Like he got the visible blood off of his face and hands, and then the first thing he did was get her back to her room before doing anything else. And I was like, that's really, like, she could have slept forever. She got roofied, like he probably would have had time to cut up 3 bodies before she woke up. Yeah. I loved that. He's such a good kid. He has such a good heart.
Yeah. I mean, she probably woke up in the morning like not having any clue.
For sure.
That anything happened. Like she probably just woke up feeling like shit and was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. How did I get here?
Yeah. So we're trying a new thing where we've got a top 5 list. Our top 5 good and bad moments. And why don't we start with the bad first? Let me explain the reason that I chose to do this is because I'm such a massive Dexter fan. It's a series that's so close to my heart, but it's a series that completely went to shit at the end. So I love ripping on it. And I should probably make that clear ahead of time. If you don't like to hear like nitpicky, it's all in fun though, because I love the show. But we like to have fun here. So
exactly.
But so we're gonna do our least favorite thing, our least 5 favorite things in the episode, and our 5 favorite things from the episode. They may not be entirely accurate, but it's what comes to our mind. So Jazz, why don't you start with your 5 least favorite things about
number 5 was the explanation for Dexter killing Logan in New Blood being explained away as self-defense, because how does that make sense to anyone?
Yeah.
Like how he broke his neck. How does that make sense to anyone? That because there's a bullet hole in the cell, and also are there no cameras in that police department? Like how? Yeah, that's my number 5. Are we gonna go back and forth, or do you just want me to do all 5 of mine?
Yeah, why don't we go back and forth?
Okay.
So my number 5 is the credits. Now, I know that like they're sticking with the New Blood style
Mm-hmm.
because it's really a continuation of New Blood. Um, but I also realized that if they used the same theme music, they would have 2 shows with the same theme music because I mean 2 currently airing shows with the same music
Mm-hmm.
because Original Sin has like completely recreates the original credits with the
Yeah.
theme music. But I just wish they did something a little more fun than just title cards, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of bummed me out.
I do love the title card, but they're not like even like physical title cards, which is what I prefer because I'm a nerd. But yeah,
Yeah,
and I agree.
same. And honestly, I think the 3D text is kind of cheesy.
um, my number 4 is Batista and Dexter being on opposite teams. It's pretty. I was hoping that he was like. I made this comment to you that maybe he was taking Deb's place from the book and like deciding that he just used Dexter's murdering to like further his own career since they were such good bros. But he seems like he's not having it, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not excited to see how that all plays out because it feels like someone may definitely get you know KO'd or yeah
Yes.
ruined
Um,
friendships at the least.
yeah, actually, um, yeah, for my number 4, I've actually got that on my list too, but my number 4 is that I didn't expect this, but I actually kind of miss Miami.
Oh yeah.
Um, like I knowed it. I felt it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not bad. I mean, I'm fine with it being in New York, but it just kind of like it kind of bummed me out a little bit. I kind of,
Yeah.
kind of missed Miami. I don't know. Um, yeah, that was my number 4. How about what do you have for number 3?
Um, my number 3 is Harrison almost walking away from Shauna. That's as upset as I got in the episode because I was like, I mean, I really didn't think there was any way he was just gonna leave her, but he just like the way he was like doing it's none of my business. It's none of my business. Like it's absolutely your business. You know her name. Like
Yes.
you at least call the cops or something. Like but it's okay. He handled it. But the fact that he thought about not handling it bothered me.
Um, I need I need Shauna to become a regular character and help Harrison chop up date rapists so
Yes.
that we can have two butcher Shaunas on Showtime.
I love that idea.
Um, my number 3 is I like okay, I know it's an overused trope, but it just I don't watch a lot of stuff with detectives and police and stuff. So for me, it just Claudette just came off like a like kind of a ripoff of Willem Dafoe's character in Boondock Saints. Um, and oh my god, what is with Staying Alive? That
Right?
really that's her song?
That's also my number 2. Is like her like monk powers that make her. She's like she may have autism, but she's a damn good cop. Like
Oh my god.
I
She
hate
sees
that.
things completely differently and what we're seeing is not really that like the
Like
stuff
she
that
just
that
should have.
like the
Go
stuff
ahead,
that
sorry.
Deborah would notice on the show,
Hmm.
like that was smart detective work. Oh, look, she's matching up knots. It just seems a little hokey.
It's such an overused trope.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Which so yeah, that was my number 2 also. So
Oh, that was
back
your
to
number 2. Okay.
yeah.
So my number 2 is actually something you mentioned earlier, which was Angel and Dexter being adversaries. Like I'm very uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. At least he got a
And
Cubano.
yeah.
Damn
Yeah,
good
that's
sandwich.
true. He did love his Cubano sandwiches. But here's the thing. Like, okay. Theory time real quick. I know a lot of people are speculating that Blessing is not going to make it. I think he will survive. And if they go for a big death, I think it's going to be Angel.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
I hate it, but I don't
Hopefully
think
it's
he's
Quinn and everything's fine.
Yeah, I don't see Angel surviving.
No.
Because I don't think he's just gonna. I'm not convinced that he can get him for being the Bay Harbor Butcher. But the way they explained all that shit away with Logan, I just feel like that's gotta come back.
It was so sloppy.
I know.
It just made no sense. I had to rewind it because I was like, how did he get away with that murder? Like,
yeah.
Even if Angela took credit for everything else, there's no way that a camera didn't see him, that something in the police station, like, yeah.
And
okay.
and with Maria, like I feel like he's gonna, even though Dexter didn't technically kill Maria, it was Deb. I feel like he's gonna trace it all back to Dexter, and if he does, there's no way in hell that he's just gonna decide to look the other way.
Absolutely.
There's no way in hell. I mean, we already see him like, yeah. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, and I don't like it. Just suck at it, Angel. Just look the other way. Come on.
Right. Just this 7th or 100th time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what's your number one?
I'm betting it's the same as yours. The portrayal of physical therapy and recovery. They like, did she even go? She's like, you must have been so fit before you were shot and laid in bed for 10 weeks. You must have just really been the strongest boy in all the world, because that was that.
He was in a coma for 10 weeks.
Yeah. And he's jogging on a treadmill a day later.
At 3.4 speed.
Yeah, get out of here.
Okay.
I can only suspend my disbelief so much.
I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, okay? I was not in a coma. 3 weeks was long enough to have atrophy that I never recovered from. We were celebrating when I sat up in bed to feed myself for the first time. And you're going to tell me this doesn't even have a fucking walker.
Right? Exactly.
Like, come on. There's no fucking way.
They don't even have him using like the walking, like with the arm bar thing that they always show, and when they show PT scenes, nothing. He's just got a cane. He's doing just fine because he's so fit.
And and they actually at the hospital, they commented on that to me too, because I was in great shape at the time of my car accident. And they actually, and they commented like, it's good that you were in such great shape because you'll have an easier time with recovery. You know what? I still remember my very first therapy session in hospital. It consisted of them giving me a grabber and a roll of paper towels and having me wad them up and throw them all over the room and pick them up with a grabber. Like, that's it.
Oh.
I mean, he's showing a little, and I was in my 30s. Okay, Dexter's in his 50s.
Exactly.
I need chubby dad bod Dexter.
But he used to chase deer. So that's enough fitness.
Yeah. Yeah. If I don't get chubby dad bod Dexter, I'm gonna rage.
Was
But
that your number one
actually,
also?
what's that?
Is that your number one also?
That was actually not my number one. I didn't even put it on my list because I totally forgot to add it to my list. But no, my number one was Teddy's explanation for everything. Like,
Yeah.
I get Iris. I mean, I get Angela looking the other way. Like, I liked the picture of Iris and everything. I get her, like, I get her covering for him because she's like, fine, whatever, we're even. But what about Logan? I'm sorry. Justice for Logan.
Yeah, seriously. Like it was on my list. It makes no sense to me that anyone would buy that explanation.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially since he broke his neck. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh well.
But
They
yeah.
had to find a way to get him back to New York. So
I know.
logic just doesn't seem to apply.
So your top fives, what was your number five?
My number 5 for best was the guest starring Dallas Goldtooth, the doctor. I love him. He is in like almost every piece of native media that I've seen in the last 5 years. I adore him. He's such a nice man, and he has a great presence on screen, and every time he shows up in something, it just makes me happy. So shout out to Dallas Goldtooth. I am super happy he's on the show, even if it was just for that episode.
Yeah. I was cracking up when he was when Dexter was like, "Can I ask you a question?" And he's like, "Shoot." Words. That's pretty funny.
If you've never
my
seen
number 5.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say if you've never seen Rutherford Falls, you should check that out. He's like one of the main love interests in the second season, and he's great. The detective that gets the position over Quinn in the original series is in Rutherford Falls.
Gotcha.
I can't remember if she actually had a name or not on the show because she only had like 3 lines, but she's a major character.
My number 5 is Dokes. I just really liked seeing him again.
Yeah, I love Dokes.
I know. I do too. And I saw Scott Reynolds posted something. It posted a clip, a behind the scenes clip from that scene, and it said when he showed up, everybody was in such a good mood, and when he delivered the line, like everybody just broke out into applause. It was good to see him, and I find it hilarious that that Dexter's brain is somehow telling him that Dokes of all people would be telling him that he has a kernel of good.
I love Dexter being like, I thought the cutoff for this was 3 ghosts.
Yes. I also really liked the montage of Dokes calling him a creep ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
And psycho.
That was really funny.
Yeah, that was really fun. So yeah, Dokes is my number 5. What's your number 4?
Teddy Reed, just in general. It's just like, oh, gee golly willikers, you don't want to press charges? You're the nicest guy ever, Okie. Like, he was just so, especially in episode, like, he's not on my list for episode 2, but in episode 2 where he's like, well, I know Jim really liked tuna. Like, that's like the only thing you can say.
Immediately made me think of The Office, by the way.
Yeah. Like, this guy murdered like 5 people in like 3 days in your town, and you're like, all right, buddy.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, he gives off serious Dewey vibes.
Yeah. I can see that.
My number 4 is Angel resurrecting Dexter.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and I know Dexter is like, oh, well, you can't prosecute a dead man, but I like that he doesn't have to go by a different name, and he can be himself again now. I like that a lot.
That is nice. I'll have to play the whole Jim Dexter game.
What's your number? And his last alias was Jim Lindsay, so this time his name would have to be Jeff something.
That makes sense.
It's like Jeff Lindsay from the author of the books.
Yeah.
So he would have to be like Jeff something or another. I don't know.
My number 3 is Uma Thurman's Go-Go Gadget spy kit that she has. It's so her Acme like brand spy kit. Like, where did she get all that stuff? It's
right.
It's so silly. So cool. I loved it. I was like, I'm desperate for more information about what's going on with Uma Thurman's character because she is so interesting. Her bits have been so weird so far.
Yes.
That spy kit gave me a chuckle.
My number 3 is Harrison straight grew up after he killed and chopped up Ryan, and he's completely freaking out about it. He's not like Dexter.
Yeah,
he actually has a conscience. But he does have this dark passenger. It's just that his conscience is stronger, and it's not just necessarily that a woman was about to be raped. If he finds himself in any situation where he gets a little bit too pissed off, he might kill somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's got a conscience.
I don't think he's like, if I don't kill somebody, I'm gonna lose it the way that Dexter is.
Right, exactly. So I liked that a lot. Like, he's really haunted. He's really fucked up by killing that guy.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Angel bringing Dexter the Cubano.
Yes.
What a great sandwich. Just shout out to Cubanos in general.
My number 2 is Jack Alcott. Who plays Harrison. I just think he's so fantastic.
He's great.
Yeah, he's such a great actor. I'm loving him. He was kind of a little shit in New Blood, like, but I still liked him. I liked his acting, but like, we're seeing kind of a nicer, more controlled Harrison. Who seems really kind, but I love his portrayal of him. I just think his acting is fantastic.
I agree.
And I think he's doing a wonderful job.
All right. My number 1 is Harrison going full Dexter and stopping a rape. This is not like Dexter hasn't stopped. He saved tons of people, but it really bothered me in the first season of the show that he wouldn't Dexter Rita's ex just for potentially attempting to assault her. Like, I don't know, like the rigid lines of the code don't really work for me. There seems like there should be more exceptions.
He's gone against the code plenty of times.
I know. And then it's weird that he expects people to just pick it up like immediately. He's like, you got to follow my code that I never tell you anything about, and
right,
you just have to absorb it from me through osmosis.
Yes.
But yeah, I like that Harrison was like, I am not on my watch, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Taking care of business.
My number one, people who are familiar with our content, familiar with us, will probably roll their eyes at this. But I'm sorry, I had to do it. Red Right Hand is my number one. I'm a huge Nick Cave is my god. His music was like our wedding when my husband and I got married. Our wedding was like full of Nick Cave songs. It's just like I've seen him in concert multiple times. I just freaking love Nick Cave so much. And it's like this is the one song of his that everybody knows because of the Scream franchise.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's such a great song. Though. Do you have any thoughts? Any additional thoughts on this episode before we get into number 2?
No. I think I enjoyed it. I get kind of why they dropped both episodes at the same time.
Yeah,
I was annoyed
I do too
about it at first, but it makes sense because this episode sets up so much that people are gonna want some payoff. So
yeah, I agree. I kind of felt the same way. Like the two were very like if it wasn't going to be a dual episode premiere, it was going to be a 2-hour episode.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I felt. So yeah, I totally agree with that. I already mentioned my theories. I think that I don't know if it'll happen this season, but I do think we are going to lose Angel. I'm predicting that.
I think you're right. I hope not.
Yeah,
but I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't like it. And I do agree with the general consensus that Dexter's gonna take over for. He'll likely kill the dark passenger and take over his identity. That's my guess. Let's get into episode 2. Episode 2 is called Camera Shy. The synopsis reads: Dexter embeds himself in New York's rideshare community to track down a serial killer. Harrison spirals from the guilt of a violent outburst. We kick off in New York. Black Sabbath's War Pigs blares as an unknown man in a hoodie walks from car to car, seeming to search for his rideshare. Keeping his face covered, he gets into a car and starts a conversation with the driver, Stanley. He asks where Stanley is from, and he responds that he's a Haitian immigrant and has lived in New York for 10 years. The hooded stranger tells Stanley he's lived in New York his whole life, but he hates it now. He tells Stanley he couldn't understand how much better the city was before people like him destroyed it. Just then, the driver gets a message from the guy he was supposed to pick up, wondering where he is. So who is this guy in the back seat? He exclaims that the hooded man is not his intended passenger. At that same moment, the stranger attacks, wrapping razor wire around Stanley's throat and telling him where to drive. Stanley asks if the man will kill him. Well, let's just say it all depends, the man says. He asks the driver who will miss him when he's gone, getting the driver to talk about his 2 daughters. The man tells Stanley his family lost everything because of men like him. He tells Stanley it's his turn to find out what it feels like to lose everything and begins to pull on the wire. The scene transitions to day, and we see Stanley's beheaded body still sitting in the driver's seat. Mysterious passenger gone as his remains are found by some local residents. Dexter stalks his son from afar, watching him head into the hotel. He argues with his father's ghost, who encourages Dexter to reveal himself to his son. But Dexter thinks the better move is to continue creepily watching him in the conspiracy theory murder van he stole from the old man at the Seneca Hospital. At night, Dexter sneaks into an employee entrance at the hotel and steals a key card as he searches for Harrison's crime scene. He finds it after walking up 11 floors and begins searching, explaining his process to Harry. Dexter has a very proud papa moment, realizing Harrison used the shower curtain to wrap up the body and left the crime scene completely clean of blood, following in his father's footsteps. Dexter dives for the closet as detectives Wallace and Oliva show up to give the scene one more examination. Wallace has already noticed the fresh shower curtain, and now she notices the toilet lid with the weapon. She calls the killing some sort of crime of passion. Dexter is worried that the first observant cop he's met since Stokes is on his son's tail. Harrison arrives at an apartment building. He's there to visit Elsa, his friend from work, and babysit her young son. He enters the building and is haunted by an image of his victim, Ryan, screaming for Harrison to give him a hand. He shakes off the vision and heads upstairs to greet Elsa and read Ninja Turtles comics with her son. Dexter continues to search the hotel. Harry is worried that Harrison is going to get himself in trouble, but Dexter knows that showing up out of the blue when his son thinks he's dead would be difficult for him to come to terms with and wants to continue protecting him from the shadows. He wants to find where the body was cut up, which leads him to the hotel kitchen. Certain this is the kill room, he leaves and waits for the kitchen to close. Angel Batista meets up with the new sheriff, Teddy Reed, to talk about Dexter. Batista wants to find him, believing everything is too strange. But Reed remembers Dexter/Jim as a nice man who loves tuna melts and doesn't press charges. He tells Batista he feels bad for him, losing his girlfriend and getting shot for no reason. Finding no major help to be found in Iron Lake, Batista gets Reed to agree to set up a notification if the stolen truck Dex used to get away is found. Angel Batista meets up with new Sheriff Teddy Reed to talk about Dexter. Batista wants to find him, believing everything is too strange. But Reed remembers Dexter/Jim as a nice man who loves tuna melts and doesn't press charges. He tells Batista he feels bad for him, losing his girlfriend and getting shot for no reason. Finding no major help to be found in Iron Lake, Batista gets Reed to agree to set up a notification if Dex's truck is found. With nothing else he can do, Batista decides to head back to Miami. Examining the kitchen, Dexter is impressed with his son's choice of killing rooms. He finds a spot of blood on a ceiling tile Harrison missed during his cleanup in the previous episode. He removes it with a smile on his face. Restless and wanting a distraction, Harrison meets his coworker Lance in the hotel garage. They take a guest sports car for a joyride. Harrison thinks he sees his dad, but dismisses it as a vision. And Jazz, take it away at the halfway mark.
Here, Dexter gets a ride from a U-car driver to go to the impound lot. Blessings Kamara talks about a serial killer who's taking out rideshare drivers. The killer is called the Dark Passenger. Dexter is both curious and annoyed. After a brief chat with Blessings, Dexter decides to get a job as a U-car driver to investigate the person attempting to steal his name. Blessings invites Dexter to a party where his friend who survived an encounter with the Dark Passenger would be attending. Harry chides Dexter for picking up a potential murder while he's supposed to be looking for his son, but Dexter sarcastically tells him that he's multitasking. Harrison tries to have a good time and indulge in some nose clams fresh from the sea, but he continues to see Ryan's busted-ass face everywhere he looks. We see a very nervous man at an ATM in Michigan. All of his money in his account is gone. Frustrated, he turns around to find Uma Thurman, Charlie, standing behind him. She demands that the man come with her. He tries to talk his way out of the situation, but she makes it clear that this is not a request. They walk behind the building. The man stammers that he's unsure of what's happening with his accounts, and Charlie tells him that he is cut off, kicked out. He knew the rules and broke them. The man is a serial killer known as the Canton Clubber, and who is wanted for entry into some sort of club that Charlie appears to be in. But because he's making requests for additional money, the $100,000 that was already given to him has been taken back. He begs for another chance, telling her that he can get her boss some priceless items. Opening the door of her van, Charlie asks if he means something like this, pulling out Lucille the bat from her back seat. The man is shocked, realizing that she's already taken things from his home. He begs her for another chance, but she negans him in the parking lot. Harrison wakes up from his night of partying in his dad's truck that he drove to New York in. He opens the glove box to find the letter that Dexter sent to Hannah, that began his search for him. He crumbles it up in frustration and hops out of the truck and into the hotel parking garage. Just then, his friend Lance drives by, parking a guest's car. Harrison stops him and asks if he's interested in buying a truck. Back at the hotel, the detectives continue their investigation. They point out that the restroom in Ryan's suite has absolutely no bodily fluids in it, unlike the rest of the rooms on that floor. Going through some old footage, they find where Shauna was drugged at the bar by the now dismembered Ryan. The detectives demand Shauna be found so they can interview her. Dexter attends Blessing's house party, where he's introduced to the driver who was nearly killed by the dark passenger. He attempts to describe what his attacker looked like, but he basically just describes Dexter. He also has a video of the incident, but the infrared lights in the lining of his hoodie hide the killer's face. Blessing continues to live up to his name and offers Dexter an apartment downstairs to rent. Harry wants Dexter to take it, but he isn't too sure about staying in New York City. Still, if he wants to be near Harrison, he needs a permanent address, so he goes ahead and gives in. Dexter manages to get a new ID in a regular person car. Beginning to investigate, Dexter searches for a logo from a company on the dark passenger's backpack. Dexter goes there and continues his search, which leads him to find the name Ronald Schmidt. Certain that this is his guy, Dexter begins to follow him at night. New York isn't big enough for two dark passengers. Elsewhere at the hotel, Elsa asks Harrison if he'd like to get a drink with her later. He agrees, beaming and obviously crushing pretty hard. His smile fades quickly when he walks past Shauna and the detectives, who now ask to speak with him. Dexter stalks his prey and takes a photo of the man that he's following. His face disappears in the photo and he knows that he has the right man. Dexter rushes to stop the man who he's identified as being in kill mode from getting into a U-car. Dexter continues to follow Ronald into the subway station, but he gets away. Harry tells Dexter that he put everything at risk to save someone rather than kill someone. Dexter tells Harry that he's changed. He cares about others now. Not enough to stop murdering baddies, though, because his voiceover tells us that his kill table is ready for Ronald Schmidt.
I liked both of these episodes, but I think I liked episode 2 a little more. Who's getting your St. Rita award, and who's going on your kill table for this episode?
Kill table is definitely the phony dark passenger. That his you people like thing is super obvious and gross, and I get why they're doing that, making that person the villain, but it's just a little easy.
Yeah.
And then my St. Rita award is going to Blessings and his entire family. Like,
yes.
What a lovely bunch of people.
Yeah. I actually have the exact same answers. I am already in love with Blessing. Like, he's just so, I mean, he's obviously very gregarious. And outgoing. Blessing, played by actor Ntare Guma Mbaho Muine. Ntare is a great actor. He's also in The Shy, which I still have never seen.
I haven't seen it either.
But yeah, he's great in this, though. And Blessing is already just such a lovable character.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
And I love that he made fun of Dexter's truck.
That was fantastic. That's on my list.
Yeah, he's great. Like, he's like just the tiniest bit over the top, you know, like when Dexter, what was it that Dexter told him? And he like just gives him this great big huge hug, and he's like, oh, you've been through so much. I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember.
Yeah. But it's just like, how do you not love this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
I love when he's like, can you imagine just like staring into the eyes of a serial killer? Like, oh, you poor sweet little thing.
I know.
Nothing better happened to him, or I will riot.
It's so many people are thinking he's going to die, but I don't think so. I think he's going to be around for the long run. I really do. Dexter, if he becomes a rideshare driver, which, you know, he's expressing an interest in, that's kind of an isolated job. He needs a group of people to be around, like in the original series. And Blessing and his family kind of fit that role. Yeah. Which is why I don't think that Blessing is I don't think they're gonna kill him off. I think Blessing is gonna. I definitely hope not. Yeah. I think especially like with him living there now, I think Blessing is basically gonna be the one that's closest to him that he's got to hide his secret from. You know what I mean? Definitely. I think something could happen to Blessing's family members. I hope not. I hope not Joy, because I don't know what it was about Joy, but like I just liked Joy right away. Yeah. I don't know why.
He had so much personality with like 2 little lines. Yeah.
I know. She just like jumped out at me. So I'm really hoping nothing happens to Joy, especially since she's like leaving anyway. You know? Like that would suck. She's just dropping by for dinner and then she gets like hacked up by some serial killer who's like mad at Dexter. That would suck. Yeah. But yeah, that's I have the exact same answers. So yeah, let's get into our top 5 lists. What's your number 5 least favorite thing?
The line, New York isn't big enough for 2 dark passengers. I was like, do you know how big New York is? Like you could just go to a different borough and you would never run into each other. Like it's
right. I mean, I was having a hard time with Ronald Schmidt with there not being more Ronald Schmidts.
Yeah, right.
Like there should be 3 Ronald Schmidts in that neighborhood. You know?
At least.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little weird. My number 5 is oh wait, I almost gave my good list. I'm gonna skip it because I actually only I was only able to come up with 4 things.
Okay.
Because I liked this episode so much and I didn't know what to put, so I only put 4 things. So yeah, go ahead with your number 4.
My number 4 is Harrison's guilt over what he did, because he did do the right thing, and it's great that he has a conscience and he does not want to hurt people, but like he did the right thing. Like he saved that woman, and it sucks that he's like going to be so haunted by it. Yeah. I feel bad for him. It's a little cinnamon roll.
I know. Yeah, my number 4 is Stefan being annoying. Like, you know, it's okay. It was a douchebag that was killed, but you know, I mean, does Stefan even know that? Like, it could have, you know, he could have been a really good guy. He's like, this is gonna ruin the gala for all the rich people, and yeah, that was he was just kind of annoying in this episode.
Yeah, they haven't portrayed him very well so far.
Yeah, I know. What's your number 3?
The way they correctly explain how dirty hotel bathrooms are.
Yes.
Her going through her list of fluids. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't need that today.
No. Me either. My number 3 is the kid licking the syrup off the bottle.
Dexter Reed, like, where's his father?
Yes. And you know that ruined Dexter's day because he ended up having cornflakes.
Yeah.
And if Dexter's having cornflakes for breakfast, I mean, this is the guy that like eats a steak with every meal. and polishes it off with a package of ho-hos. And he was eating cornflakes. Dex had a bad day that day because of that kid.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. It was like, I don't want anything that anyone else has touched.
Yeah. Yes.
I get it. I've worked in some places.
Yeah.
My number 2 is nobody noticing the spot of blood on the kitchen ceiling. Like,
Yeah.
in a pristine white kitchen like that always has like the highlights up when they're on, I feel like someone would have seen that during the
Yeah.
day. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I notice stuff like that all the time. So it seems strange to me that in this perfectly pristinely cleaned kitchen, no one sees like a spot of blood the size of a quarter over the chopping table. Like how would that have gotten there? No one noticed it for like 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. That's definitely a good point. Mine is Teddy talking with his mouth full.
Yeah.
I hate when characters do this in TV shows and movies. I fucking hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so annoying.
It's gross.
So what's your least favorite?
My number 1 is the racist Dexter passenger.
Yes.
Like, I know we don't know very much about him, but he obviously has a problem with anyone that's not born in America.
Yeah.
And that's gross. That's not what our country is about. Like,
yeah.
No one took anything away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going out to everyone. No one took anything away from you.
I always used to joke that, like, one of these 4th of Julys, I was going to sit out on my front porch all day with a giant inflatable Statue of Liberty and blast Neil Diamond's America all day long.
I love that idea.
As like a, it's like a snotty way of being patriotic.
Yeah.
Like being patriotic while resisting at the same time.
I love that plan.
But my number 1 is Harry saying that Dexter never stepped in to save anybody before, which is bullshit.
Yeah, that's not true.
He totally has. I meant to like try to go through all the episodes and make a list, but I just didn't have time to do that. But so I stopped at one example, but the one example that came to mind right away is with Jeremy Downs when he took that kid into the swamp where like to show him to, quote unquote, show him the gator. And Dexter stepped in and, was like, hey, anybody seen my volleyball? He stepped in to save the kid because he figured Jeremy was about to kill that kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does it multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there were other instances as well. So yeah, I don't know what that was all about. And what's really interesting so far about the series is like I have found myself pretty much always agreeing with Harry, thinking that Harry is giving Dexter good advice. Mm-hmm. And now I'm feeling for the first time like Dexter actually has it right.
Oh man, I've always thought Harry was wild.
Yeah. I think he's wild in flashbacks, but I think Ghost Harry usually has good advice. But I don't know. So far in this series, I'm almost always finding myself agreeing with Dexter on things.
Like, why are you discouraging him from someone who's murdering rideshare people? Like he can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Excuse the pun. But yeah. It's a weird call, Harry.
I know. All right, let's talk about the top 5s. What's
All
your
right.
what's your number 5?
Number 5 is Harrison reading the Ninja Turtles with Elsa's kid.
Yeah.
That was super, super cute, and I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see. I hope that relationship goes well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is my camera frozen on your side?
It is.
Okay.
But at least we can hear you. I'm sure you'll come back
Okay.
in a second or two.
Let me.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that those two will probably get together. You know. Oh no. We lost you for a
My
second
God.
there. But I can hear you at least.
Oh,
Um
this is frustrating. My number 4 was Dexter getting adopted by a nice Jamaican family. It was
yeah.
just cute to see, and everyone that scene was so wholesome and kind, and I adored it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see going forward, how he like keeps his secret from these adorable, nice people.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Um yeah, it's it will be interesting, especially since we saw how how much he could hear everything upstairs. So
Mhm.
there's not much privacy. Um, it's good that it's in the basement, but it's a shame that Joy has to take her kill table away.
Yeah.
um, my number 4 is that even though Dexter is in New York and he's gonna become a rideshare driver, um, they still found a way for Dexter to show off his forensic skills, which I really liked.
Yeah.
I appreciated that because I wondered if that was going to kind of fall by the wayside, but no, it hasn't. So I'm happy about that.
Agreed.
What's your number 3?
Um, my number 3 was Dexter being annoyed about good police work. I was like, oh no, Harrison got a good cop. I was never expecting that to happen.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really funny. Like,
Yeah.
he's so used to dealing with people who are pretty unobservant sometimes, it seems.
Right.
Yeah, just thought that was funny.
No, yeah, that was amazing. Actually, one thing that I liked is that she did something that we've seen before in the original series multiple times where Dexter would have a thought and then somebody would say that exact thought that out loud. I was like, what?
Mm,
Why did I just say that weird? Someone would say that line exactly the same out loud. Like I remember what's his name? The FBI guy, Lundy. I remember Lundy doing that a couple of times with Dexter.
yeah,
Um, so I think that I kind of feel like that's foreshadowing that she's gonna be a major foil for Dexter. Or Harrison. I mean, Harrison's kind of the one that would be more
in
appropriate, but
danger. Yeah,
yeah. Um, my number 3 is I think that Dexter is making a really good decision by keeping an eye on Harrison from a distance.
yeah,
Um, I like that he still wants to take care of him and he wants to make sure that he's not making mistakes. But I do think that he's a bad influence in his life.
agreed.
And I don't even know if it's mostly a bad influence on Harrison as much as it is on Dexter.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Dexter just
he can't like resist trying to like mold people to like get others to like live as he lives, and it's
yeah.
yeah.
And
Not
Dexter
everyone needs to play judge, jury, and executioner.
right. And Dexter gets out of line when he gets too protective of somebody. And him trying to, like, him worrying about his son is why Logan is dead. Like, Dexter fucking, like, went off the deep end and killed Logan because he needed to get to Harrison, you know? So I totally agree with him staying away. I I think Ghost Harry and Ghost Oaks are wrong. I don't think that Dexter needs to be in Harrison's life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that he's realizing that and he's making that decision. I understand why he didn't make that decision in New Blood, but I understand why he's making that now, especially after his son is having to deal with the trauma of killing his father because he thinks he's dead, you know?
Yeah.
It's just really fucked up. So I totally understand it. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Harris and Lance's nose clams party. I love that they just steal a car from a rich guest and drive around doing cocaine. Yeah. Great decision, kids.
Yeah, pretty entertaining.
I know, that was funny.
Oh man,
what a move to just steal some like insanely expensive car. They're driving around New York,
right?
What most difficult place to drive in the world, basically.
At 2:00 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning. Like, what the hell?
High on cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. My number 2 is just Blessing in general. Because I just love him. I just think he's so insanely likable. And I really like the idea of these two together because I could see he's got some similarities to Angel. I think they might deliver some humor in how Dexter will get annoyed really quickly by Blessing's constant presence and amount of concern that he shows for his new friend, you know?
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to more of them. I think that they'll be an interesting duo. And he's just so insanely likable. What's your number 1?
It's Blessings roasting Dexter's car. That was my favorite part of the episode, and I just love. I'm already invested in that character, like you said. He's just such a nice, warm presence, and his jokes were funny.
Yes, they were. I really enjoyed him making fun of the truck.
Like, could you have picked a more like obvious vehicle to try to hide from the police in?
Right? No kidding. My number 1 might actually be one of my favorite Dexter moments. The sour pickles moment.
Yeah.
Teddy is like talking to Angel about, I feel bad for him. He's got to be so miserable. And then it immediately cuts to Dexter with his 2 plates of cheeseburgers and fries. He's like, "Hey, can I get some more sour pickles?" I laughed my ass off. We need chubby Dexter.
Yeah. He did order 2 burgers, so there is hope.
I was mentioning earlier that I was annoyed by the whole rehab thing because it was so unrealistic. Dexter has always we've always seen him eating a lot of unhealthy, high fat, high calorie foods. He's not at all concerned about eating healthy. He loves food. Never really saw him exercising much.
No, not at all.
But there I remember him mentioning before that he got lucky with his metabolism or something. Like, he made some comment about that show, he made some comment to that effect in the original series. But when I was in my car accident, I was only in the hospital for 2 weeks. And I never recovered from the muscle atrophy. And that fucked up my metabolism so much. The amount of weight that I gained after my car accident was ridiculous. And I was in my 30s. Dexter is in his 50s.
Yeah.
We need chubby Dexter. Yeah. Come on, Michael C. Hall. Get your dad bod on. Like,
if Rob McElhenney can do it, then so can you.
Exactly.
Gain and lose 60 pounds between one season of television.
I need it for season 2. I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. Like, in shape, fit, lean Dexter is just, it's not gonna do it for me in the realism department.
Agreed.
I need chubby dad bod Dexter in the worst way. But yeah, I loved the sour pickles moment. I thought it was hilarious. I should warn everybody, we're gonna go into this little spoilers section now. Don't worry, this is nothing that we shouldn't be talking about. It's all either stuff that's been published by Showtime or, it's on IMDb, stuff in previews, like things that some people would consider spoilers, but that aren't really spoilers. They're just, news previews, stuff like that. So there was a photo up on the IMDb page from a future episode that I just wanted to show because it's Michael C. Hall as Dexter giving off major David Fisher vibes.
Yeah.
He's clean shaven. He's got a suit on. His hair's not slicked back. That's about the only difference. But he's given off some major David Fisher vibes, which I kind of appreciated.
Does look great.
Yeah. So I just thought I would share that. I've got a good feeling about the rest of the season. I like what I've seen so far. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to this group of serial killers to see what that's all about.
Yes, serial killers club.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to obviously we know that Dexter and Harrison are going to meet up at some point, so that'll be interesting. I don't know how soon that'll happen, but as I've mentioned before, we were very late with this episode because it's just, well, for a lot of reasons that I won't go into, but it's it's not the easiest thing in the world being a disabled content creator. It's just not. But we have other obstacles that we have to overcome and that others don't. But you can rest assured that going forward, we should have our episodes up every Friday right after the episodes air on Paramount Plus with Showtime. And on the audio podcast every Friday is when they should be up. So it's just this first episode. So we're sorry. Just please give us some grace with it. And if you are listening, remember, you can also check out our YouTube channel. It's the same episode, just with video content. So you get to see us talking about it rather than just hear us. And you get to see, whatever visuals we show. Our YouTube channel is Cyborg Queen Media. And make sure you use media, because if you just type in Cyborg Queen, you'll get something else entirely. But we also will be doing an after show on Sunday night. So please join us for that. If we get enough people in the chat, we will do giveaways. So we hope that you will join us on Sunday nights for that. Mm-hmm. Also, we've been getting review bombed, and I know that it's kind of overly obvious that it's review bombing and not genuine reviews, because we don't get reviews all that often. And we just got a bunch of them all at once, and they were all really terrible reviews, and they were mentioning things that are actually taken out of the episodes in editing. So So stuff that doesn't even exist in there. So like it was very obvious review bombing. So our rating is kind of low right now, which really sucks. But so if you could just, if you like our content, if you could stop by and give us a 5-star review on iTunes, it would really help us so much. But Jazz, did you have anything else that you wanted to add? Like any thoughts or theories or anything before we get out of here?
No, I'm just excited to see where it's going. Happy to have I feel very accomplished for catching up.
Yeah, for sure. We are also going to try this new thing where we're going to try to commit to new content every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Now, if you're listening on the podcast, that doesn't mean podcast content. But we will at least have our weekly episodes. You might get some bonus content in there as well. But on our YouTube channel, we're trying to put out new content every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. We still have not finished our season 1 Dexter coverage, but we are finishing that. We're still releasing them. We're skipping this week, but we have 2 episodes left to go. The next one will be posted. We're recording this on the 16th of July. The next one will be posted next Wednesday. So, and then we'll finish with the season 1 finale the week after that. So we're going to be putting those up on Wednesdays. And then Fridays we'll have our weekly Resurrection recaps and discussions. And then Sunday night we'll have our after show. So we're trying to do this, this weekly content thing. Hoping to line up some interviews for when Dexter season 1 is over, but we've got some, additional bonus content that we can take care of if those don't come through. But thanks so much for joining us, and we're really excited to be covering this, and we're glad that you're here to join us for the ride. Please leave a comment. YouTube hates Dexter coverage because there's lots of words like kill and killer. Of course, it doesn't help that I'm saying those words right now. But YouTube's getting really strict with that stuff. So if you could please like and share and comment anything. Tell us how your day's going. Okay. Tell us what kind of bonus content you'd see, but definitely tell us your thoughts on the episodes. And yeah, we would love to hear from you, and we try to respond to as many comments as possible. So with that, we will skedaddle on out of here, and we will see you guys hopefully Sunday night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.